forever. Glorified be your name, Most High, Abba, Yahweh Elohim, the Most High, the mighty I am of Yasharalah, and to our Mashiach, our Lord Yahweh Shai, and to the Ruach HaKodesh Spirit. Greetings to all Yasharalah. Everybody's out there celebrating, the winter solstice, misrepresenting the Mashiach, like I said. So, it's very fitting for me to read to y'all and get edified with you on the book of Lamentations, because there's a lot for us to lamentate. So let's begin. Chapter 1, Jerusalem in affliction. How lonely sits the city that was full of people. How like a widow is she, who was great amongst the nations. The princess amongst the provinces has become a slave. She weeps bitterly in the night, and tears are on her cheeks. Among all her lovers, she has none to comfort her. All her friends have dealt treacherous with her and have become her enemies. Judah has gone into captivity, under affliction and hard servitude. She dwells amongst the nations, she finds no rest. All her persecutors overtake her in the dire straits. The roads to Zion mourn, because no one comes to set the feast. All her gates are desolate, her priests sigh, her virgins are afflicted, and she is in bitterness. Her adversaries have become the masters, her enemies prosper, for the Most High has afflicted her. Because of her multitude of transgressions, her children have gone into captivity before the enemy. And from the daughter of Zion, all her splendors have departed. Her prince have become little like deer. They find no pastures, that flee without strength before the pursuer. In the days of her affliction and roaming, Jerusalem remembers all her pleasant things that she had in the days of old, when her people fell into the hands of the enemy with no one to help her. The adversary saw her and mocked at her downfall. Jerusalem has sinned gravely, therefore she has become vile. All her honor her despise her, because all honor her despise her, because she have seen her nakedness. Yes, she sighs and turns away. Her uncleanness is in her skirts. She did not consider her destiny. Therefore her collapse was awesome. She had no comforter, O Yahweh Elohim. Behold the affliction, for the enemy is exalted. The adversary has spread his hands over all her pleasant things. For she has seen the nation enter her sanctuary, those whom you commanded not to enter your assembly. All her people, they sigh, they seek bread. They have given their values for food to restore life. See, O Elohim, and consider, for I am scorned. Is it not to you, all you who pass by? Behold and see if there is any sorrow like my sorrow, which has been brought on me, which the Most High has afflicted in the day of his fierce anger. From above he has sent fire into my bones, and it overpowered me. He has spread a net for my feet and turned me back. He has made me desolate and faint in all the day. The yoke of my transgressions were bond. They were woven together by his hands, and thrust upon my neck. He made strength fail. The Most High delivered me into the hands of those whom I am not able to withstand. Yahweh Elohim has trampled underfoot all my mighty men in the midst. He has called an assembly against me to crush my young men. The Most High trampled as in winepress, and the virgin daughter of Judah. For these things I weep. My eye overflows with water, because the Comforter who should restore my life is far from me. My children are desolate, because the enemy prevailed. Zion spreads out her hands, but no one comforts her. Yahweh Elohim has commanded concerning Jacob, that those around him become his adversaries. Jerusalem has become an unclean thing among them. The Most High is righteous for a rebellion against his commandment. Hear now, all people, and behold my sorrow. My virgins and my young men have gone into captivity. I called for my lovers, but they deceived me. My priests and my elders, brethren, their last in the city, while they sought food to restore their life. See, Yahweh Elohim, that I am in distress. My soul is troubled. My heart is overturned within me. For I have been very rebellious outside the sword bearers. At home it is like death. They have heard that I sigh, but no one comforts me. All my enemies have heard of my trouble. They glad that you have done it. Bring on the day you have announced, that they may become like me. Let all their wickedness come before you, and do to them as you have done to me, for all of my transgressions. For my sighs are many, and my heart is faint. Yeah, basically, it's kind of like pretty much the story of all 12 tribes, man, that we have fallen out of grace. So, since we were following after all these, Edomite heathens, all these unclean nations, and idol worshiping and serving their gods, especially sun worshiping, then he just gave us over to the enemy, man, to a reprobational mind, man. So we don't do nothing that's right, man. We only do unfit things, man. And you know that's why it's the book of Lamentations. Because look, man, most of our people are celebrating this fucking bullshit, you know, starting this evening till tomorrow, man. You know, a lot of my family is, man. A lot of people that I know, man. But I'm gonna stay into the scriptures, man. Possibly drop another video, you know, and stay strong, man. You know, that's what I'm gonna do. Now let's start with chapter 2. Yahweh's anger with Jerusalem. How the Most High has covered the daughter of Zion with a cloud in his anger. He cast down from the Shamayas to the earth the beauty of Israel, and did not remember his footstool in the days of his anger. Yahweh Elohim has swallowed up and has not pitied all the dwelling places of Jacob. He has thrown down in his wrath the strongholds of the daughter of Judah. He has brought them down to the ground. He has profaned the kingdom and its prince. He has cut off in fierce anger every horn of Israel, and has brought back his right hand from before the enemy. He has blazed against Jacob like a flaming fire, devouring all around. Standing like an enemy, he has bent his bow with his right hand like an adversary. He has slain all who were pleasing to his eye. On the tent of the daughter of Zion, he has poured out his fury like fire. The Most High was like an enemy. He has swallowed up Yasharalah. He has swallowed up all her palaces. He has destroyed her stronghold. He has increased mourning and lamentation. In the daughter of Judah, he has done violence to his tabernacle. It was as if it were a garden. He has destroyed his place of assembly. Yahweh Elohim has caused the appointed feasts and Sabbaths to be forgotten in Zion, and his burning indignation he has burned the king and the prince and the priest. The Most High has spun his altar. He has abandoned his sanctuary. He has given up the walls of her palace into the hands of the enemy. They have made a noise in the house of Yahweh Elohim as the day of a set feast. The Most High has purposed to destroy the wall of the daughter of Zion. He has stretched out a line. He has not withdrawn his hand from destroying. Therefore, he has caused the rampart and wall to lament, and they languish together. Her gates have sunk unto the ground. He has destroyed and broken her bars. Her kings and princes are amongst the nations. The law is no more, and the prophets find no visions from the Most High. The elders of the daughter of Zion sit on the ground and keep silence. They throw dust on their heads, and they gird themselves with sackcloth. The virgins of Jerusalem bow their heads to the ground. My eyes fill with tears. My heart is troubled. My bile is poured onto the ground because of the destruction of the daughter of my people, because the children and the infants in the faint in the streets. They say to their mothers, "Where is my grain and wine?" As they swoon like a wounded, as like they're wounded in the streets of the city, as their life is poured out in their mother's bosom. How shall I console you? To what shall I liken you, O daughter of Jerusalem? What shall I compare with you, that I may comfort you, O virgin daughter of Zion? For your ruin is spread wide as the sea. Who can heal you? Your prophets have seen for you false and deceptive visions. They have not uncovered your iniquity to bring back your captives, but have envisioned for you false prophecies and delusions. All who pass by clap their hands at you. They hiss and shake their heads at the daughter of Jerusalem. It is this city that is called the perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole world. All your enemies have opened their mouth against you. They hiss and they gnash their teeth. They say, "We have swallowed her up. Surely this is the day we have waited for. We have found it. We have seen it." Yahweh Elohim has done what he proposed. He has fulfilled his word, which he commanded in the days of old. He has thrown down and has not pitied. He has caused an enemy to rejoice over you. He has exalted the horn of your adversary. Their heart cries out for Yahweh Elohim, all wall of the daughter of Zion. Let tears run down like a river day and night. Give yourself no relief. Give your eyes no rest. Arise, cry out in the night at the beginning of the watches. Pour out your hearts like water before the face of the Most High. Lift your hands towards him for the life of your children whom faint from hunger at the head of every street. O Elohim, and consider, to whom have you done this? Should the women eat their offspring, the children they have cuddled? Should the priest and the prophet be slain in the sanctuaries of the Most High, young and old? On the ground, on the streets, my virgins and my young men have fallen by the sword. You have slain them in the day of your anger. You have slaughtered and not pitied. You have invited as to a feast day the terrors and that surrounds me in the day of the Most High's anger. There was no refuge or survivor. Those whom I have borne and brought, my enemies have destroyed. Okay, man, that's the end of chapter 2. Basically, because of our iniquities, man. The Most High just let us fall and plummet, man. And we are plummet right now, man, severely, man. Look at it, man. We have completely lost our ways. And when it said right there about the visions, and yeah, man, we have all these, prosperity gospels, and Edomite Jesus, the son of the world, doctrines, some worshiping on Sundays, celebrating Christmas, just doctrines that are good to your ear, man, but nothing that's truth, man. So let's continue with, chapter 3, the prophet's anguish and hope. I am the man who has seen affliction by the rod of his wrath. He has led me and made me walk in darkness and not in light. Surely he has turned his hand against me time and time again throughout the day. He has aged my flesh and my skin and broken my bones. He besieged me and surrounded me with the bitterness and woe. He has set me in the dark places like the dead of long ago. He has hedged me in so that I cannot get out. He has made my chains heavy. Even when I cry out, he shuts out my prayer. He has blocked my ways with his huge stones. He has made my path crooked. He has been to me a bear like lying in wait, like a lion in ambush. He has turned aside my ways and torn me in pieces. He has made me desolate. He has bent his bow, and he has set me up a target for arrows. He has caused the arrows of the quiver to pierce my loins. I have become the ridicule of all my people, their taunting song all the day. He has filled me with bitterness. He has made me drink wormwood. He has also broken my teeth with gravel and covered me with ashes. You have moved my soul far from peace. I have forgotten prosperity, and I said my strength and my hope have perished from the Most High. Remember my affliction and roaming in the wormwood and the gall. My soul still remembers and sinks with it. This I recall into my mind, therefore I hope. Through Yahweh Elohim's mercy we are not consumed, because his compassion fail not. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. Yahweh is my portion, says my soul. Therefore I hope in him. Yahweh is good to those who wait for him, the soul who seeks him. It is good that one should hope and wait quietly for salvations of the Most High. It is good for a man to bear the yoke in his youth. Let him sit alone and keep silent, because our Elohim has laid it on him. Let him put his mouth on the dust. There may yet be hope. Let him give his cheek to one who strikes him, and be full of reproach, for our Elohim will not cast off forever. Though he cause grief, yet he will show compassion according to the multitude of his mercy. For he does not afflict willingly, nor grieve the children of men, to crush under one's foot all the prisoners of the earth, to turn aside the justice due a man before the face of the Most High, or subvert a man in his cause. Yahweh does not approve. Who is he who speaks and it comes to pass? When the Most High has commanded it, it is not from the mouth of the Most High that woe and well-being proceed. Why should a living man complain, a man for the punishment of his sins? Let us search out and examine our ways, and turn back to the Most High. Let us lift our hearts and hands to Yahweh Elohim of the Shamayans. We have transgressed and rebelled, and you have not pardoned. You have covered yourself with anger and pursue us. You have slain and not pitied. You have covered yourself with a cloud that prayers should not pass through. You have made us an offscoring and refuse in the midst of the people. All our enemies have opened their mouth against us. Fear and snare have come upon us. Desolation, destruction, my eyes overflow with rivers of water for the destruction of the daughters of my people. My eyes flow and do not cease without interruption, till the Most High of the Shaman looks down and sees my eyes bring suffering to my soul, because of all the daughters of my city, my enemies without cause, hunting me down like a bird. They silence, they lie in pit and throw stones at me. The waters flowing over my head, I say I am cut off. I call on your name, Yahweh Elohim, from the lowest pit. You have heard my voice. Do not hide your ear from my signs or from my crying to help. You drew near on that day. I called on you, and I said, do not fear. Oh Yahweh, you have pleaded the case for my soul. You have redeemed my life. The Most High, you have seen how I am wrong. Judge my case. You have seen all their vengeance, all their schemes against me. You have heard their reproach about, O Elohim, all their schemes against me, their lips of my enemies, and their whispering against me all day. Look at their sitting down and their rising up, and I am their taunting song. Repay them, O Elohim, according to the works of their hands. Give them a veiled heart your curse be upon them. In your anger, pursue and destroy them from under the Shamayas, the Most High. Okay, basically, the prophet is pretty much pleading his case for our people, man. But also, too, he's keeping it real and saying how we have, we deserve what we got, man. You know what I'm saying? You want to follow in the ways of the Hetans and the Edomites. Well, let them, be your hero then, man, and your God. See if they can save you, and they can't restore you. So you should know by now, man. Now let's go to chapter 4. The degradation of Zion, how the gold has become dim, how changed the fine gold, how the stones of the sanctuary are scattered at the head of every street. The precious sons of Zion's value as fine gold, how they are regarded as clay pots, the works of hands of the potter. Even the jackals present their breasts to nurse their young. But the daughters of my people is cruel like ostriches in the wilderness. The tongue of the infant clings to the roof of his mouth for thirst. The young children ask for bread, but no one breaks it for them. Those who ate delicacies and desolate in the streets, those who were brought up in the scarlet embers, ash heaps. The punishment of the iniquity of the daughter of my people is greater than the punishment of the sin of Sodom, which has overthrown in a moment with no hand to help her. Her Nazarites were brighter than snow and whiter than milk. They were more ruddy in body than rubies, like sapphires in their appearance. Now their appearance is like blacker than soup. They are unrecognizable on the street. Their skin clings to their bones. It has become dry as wood. Those slain by the sword are better off than those who die of hunger, for these pine away strictly for the lack of the fruit of the field. The hands of the compassionate woman have cooked their own children. They become food for them. In the destruction of the daughter of my people, Yahweh has fulfilled his fury. He has poured out his fierce anger. He kindled a fire in Zion and has devoured its foundation. The kings of the earth and all the inhabitants of the world will not have believed that the adversary and the enemy could enter the gates of Jerusalem because of the sins of her prophets and the iniquities of her priests, who shed in her midst the blood of the just. They wandered blind in the streets. They have defiled themselves with blood, so that no one could touch their garments. They cried out to them, "Go away, unclean, go away, do not touch us." When they fled and wandered, those amongst the nations said, "They shall no longer dwell there." The face of the Most High scattered them. He no longer regards them. The people do not respect the priests nor show favor to the elders. Still our eyes failed us, watching vainly for our help. In our watching we watched for a nation that could not save us. They tracked our steps so they could not walk in our streets. Our end was near, our days were over, for our end had come. Our pursuers were swifter than the eagles of the heavens. Yeah, man. When they, we brought us to America, man. They enslaved the southern kingdom, and then they, inquisition of the northern tribes, man. The eagle of America. They pursued us on the mountains and laid in wait for us in the wilderness. The breast of our nostrils, the anointed of the Most High, was caught in their pits, of whom we said, under his shadow we shall live amongst the nations. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, you who dwell in the land of Uz. The cup shall also pass over to you, and you shall become drunk and make yourself naked. The punishment of your iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no longer send you into captivity. He will punish your iniquity. O daughter of Edom, he will uncover your sins. Okay, want to stop it right there, man. He's talking about just, everything that just, all the herbs and ailments that ache us, man, and mess with us, man. Especially when it's talking about our women being like ostriches. It's true, man. Most abortion clinics are what? Are so-called Israelite women, man. So-called African American, Latinas, and Native American women, man. What I'm saying? And that's eating your own children, man. And they're shitty moms, man. They only care about themselves, man. Their summer bodies and all this fucked up shit, and everything about us, man, has been fucked up, man. And it's right here been told, man. But see, he's also saying about how Esau is gonna get his too, man, for this, man. The Most High ain't forgot, man. So now let's finish this up, man. Glorified be your name, Abba Yahweh Elohim. A prayer for restoration. Remember, Yahweh Elohim, what has come upon us. Look and behold our reproach. Our inheritance has been turned over to aliens. Yeah, see, Esau, you're the fucking alien, man. Cause you come from nowhere. You fucking cave dweller, man. Fucking basic man, baseman, man. Now it says here, look, that in our houses to the foreigners we have become orphans and waifs. Our mothers are like widows. We pay for the water we drink, and our wood come at a price, and they pursue us at our heels. Our labors and we labor and we have no rest. We have given our hand to the Egyptians and the Syrians to be satisfied with bread. Our fathers sin and are no more, but we bear their iniquities. See, it says that we bear their iniquities. We bear their iniquities. Servants rule over us. Servants rule over us. Yeah, because all these nations are supposed to be serving us, man. But since we fucked up, now we serve them. There is none to deliver us from their hand. We get our bread at the risk of our lives because of the sword in the wilderness. Yeah, man, the sword, the sun, man. And fucking Esau, man. Stargazing, sun worshiping, fucking homo. Our skin is not as hot as an oven because of the fever of the famine. They ravaged the women in Sion, the maidens in the cities of Judah. Princes were hung up by their hands, and the elders were not respected. See, and it says here too that young men ground at the millstone. Boys staggered under loads of wood. The elders have ceased gatherings at the gate, and the young men from their music. The joy of our hearts has ceased. Okay, because ain't nothing to be happy about it but this shit, man. Our joy has ceased. Our dance has turned into mourning. And it says here, and the crown has fallen from our head. Woe to us, for we have sinned. Because of this, our heart is faint. Because of these things, our eyes grow dim. Because of the Mount of Zion, which is desolate, with foxes walking about on it. Yeah, man, who's a fox, man? Amalek, man, fucking Israeli, fucking gutter rat, fake Jews, man. Oh, Yahweh Elohim, remain forever. Your throne from generation to generation. Why do you forget us forever and forsake us? It says here, forsake us for so long. Turn us back to you, O Elohim, and we will be restored. Renew our days as of old, unless you have utterly rejected us and are very angry with us. Yeah, man, basically, man, it's the Lamentations are really true, man. True lamentation, man, because, man, we're really like, come on, man, look. Most of our people are celebrating, the winter solace, man. The Edomite fucking religion, man. But I hope this was edifying, that you could meditate on this at some point, man, and let it marinate on you, man, and uprising and get it right, man, and start walking right, man, and clean up your act, because, judgment is coming on Esau, man, and on 2/3 Kum Jakes, man, and Heaton, so be ready, man, and be edified. Shalom.